Good evening everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Reiki Zen. My name's Ian and I'm a Reiki practitioner in England. Done a few videos already about Reiki and about meditation and things like that. Something that popped into my head today, which I've seen on a page on Facebook called Reiki Healers UK, and there seems to be a lot of level 2 practitioners, which is what I am, that don't know how to send distance healing, or seem bewildered by it or slightly confused. So I thought I'd do a video for today and possibly share it around for people to see, or let you share it around for people to see, with regards to my thoughts on the distance healing and how it works, how I do it. So distance healing with the Reiki. The good thing about Reiki being, because it's basically like a spiritual energy, universal energy, it is all around us, it is everywhere, so we can kind of tap into it and channel it as Reiki practitioners and healers. Or we can utilize it for whatever the circumstances. We can use it for a one-to-one situation with hands-on healing. We can use it for obviously ourselves, friends and family. When you become level 2 practitioner, what they call a practitioner level or master level, you obviously then at the stage where you can get your insurance and things like that and start a business and start charging for clients if you so wish to go down that path. And then you can also send Reiki to other situations, like things that might be happening around the world, any global crisis going on at the time. It's quite nice every now and again when the Reiki Feds seem to get together, and when the coronavirus outbreak kicked off, and they all wanted to like start a group, and they named a time and day and everything, and all the healers that could partake would join in and send healing to whatever situation they could help with. So that's another fascinating and amazing part of the Reiki as well. You could even send it to whatever situation is going on globally, really. But then also you can send it to plants, any living form, living organism, anything composed of natural components, animals, pets, anything like that. So that is the fascinating part about Reiki. It is so versatile and so easy to use when you become attuned to it. So when you're attuned to level 1 Reiki, at the end of my level 1, we did touch on distance healing slightly, where we used basically just a piece of paper, wrote a name and a location down, and sent healing to that person. And obviously when you finish your courses, you get a few assignments to complete. Sometimes maybe one distant client, and then the rest would be hands-on, maybe 4, 5, 6, totally up to yourself as the learned student. And then when you get onto your level 2, you get attuned to be able to use the symbols. So the symbols within Reiki, there's 3 at level 2. One is the distance symbol, so you can send energy distantly, and you can also time it. So the beauty of that is, if I'm sending healing to someone in America, they may want their energy to be received at 7 p.m. at night their time. So for instance, I do have a couple of clients in America, and they do want their energy at 7 p.m. and they're on Eastern Standard Time. So obviously if I wanted to send the healing from here, it would be about 11 o'clock, half 11 at night, because they were about 4 hours time change, from what we are. So I would write down on my piece of paper. I always use a piece of paper. It's the easiest form that I use, that I've just come to get used to it really. And write the name down, location, and the time and the time zone. So then I can basically book the energy in for that time to be received by the recipient. And as amazing as it sounds, it does work. It works every single time. Sometimes it works, or the effects that they feel may be more profound than other times. But that doesn't mean to say that the Reiki isn't working. It works on whatever level it needs to work at that time for the person. So I thought it quite strange when I read on the Facebook page that some people weren't quite sure of how to do the distance healing, how to send it, which I thought would have been covered by their Reiki master. So basically the way I do it is I'll write the name down on a piece of paper, the location, the specific time if required. So I mean, today's a Monday, I think, yes. Who knows at the minute, because everyone's just kind of lost off really. But Monday is today. So if I had someone that wanted Reiki on Friday, I could do it today, time distance, and allot that time to be received by that person when they require it. That's how amazing it is, because basically universal energy, spirit, and the life force, time and distance has no meaning to them. So even if I'm sending Reiki to someone at the other end of the country, they're receiving it as I'm transmitting at that moment. It's mind-boggling. Yeah, I know. But yeah, it works every single time. So my comment on the Facebook page on the Reiki group, basically just saying how I perform my distance Reiki on a piece of paper with the name, the location, the time, if it's a time distance session. And then what I like to do is I like to draw the symbols over the piece of paper. So it would be the timed distance symbol first. That would be Honshaze Shonen. Then there would be what's known as the mental symbol or the emotional symbol, which is Seihiki. So I would draw that over the piece of paper. And then finally I would draw Shokure. When I say draw, I just mean with my fingertips, and I'll just make the shapes and symbols with my fingertips. I won't draw it with a pen or anything over the name. And then what I also like to do, just to reinforce it really, I also do the symbols on the palms of my hands as well, and just draw with the fingertip the symbols on my hands. Not everyone does it. Some people just do it on the hands. Some people believe that the intention is everything, which I do strongly believe that is the case. Yes, we are attuned to Reiki anyway, as Reiki practitioners and masters. So I do think the intention is the most powerful part about it. But then I also like to use like a little invocation, which was taught to me by my Reiki master, and he'll have taught it to all his Reiki students, pretty much the same thing. Basically just allowing Reiki to channel in through your hands to whoever, and for their highest will and good, basically. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, intention is everything with Reiki. But also, if you put too much thought into it, that can hinder the Reiki. I also find, I have also actually found in the past, if I'm not sort of in the right place or the right state of mind to be sending Reiki, then I would have to let the person know that, you know, I'm a little bit either worn out, or something's happened, or I'm stressed, or anything like that. I mean, most of the time I'm not, but on the odd occasion, if something's happened and I might not be able to fully sort of submerge myself into the energy and send in the energy, then I'll just say, look, is there an alternative day that you would like it? Because what I seem to have found is, in the past, when I have been either like distracted by someone or something, or the dog's barking, or the dog's playing, or someone knocking at the door, anything like that, while I've been in the middle of doing a distance Reiki session, I've actually found that the recipient has actually been not being able to get into the swing of it as normal, or they've felt disturbed. I don't mean disturbed in the in the not very nice sense, but almost as if they experienced someone knocking at the door, ringing the doorbell. Which brings me on to the next point of distance Reiki. So some practitioners use what's called either a correspondence or a surrogate. And what you can do is you can use like a teddy bear and work down the energy centers on a teddy bear, preferably quite a large teddy bear, because obviously if you're sending Reiki to a female and you get to the heart chakra, you want to have your hands above the heart chakra, so you're not in contact with them, because even though it's distance, they actually, it's almost, that teddy bear becomes that person. That's how the energy works. And it's also been heard of people using their own knee, their own thigh, and just envisaging the person as their thigh, and then them working down the chakra system on the thigh, or using a pillow. There's been loads of different ways. There's another way that I've seen on Instagram, on one of my Instagram pages. One of the ladies that I follow, Reiki master in Canada, she also uses tarot alongside her healing, and she also uses crystals, which I sometimes use as well. And she actually has a page of, it's like a piece of A4 paper with the figure of a person, and she'll lay the crystals on the energy centers down the body, and she will actually use a pendulum or something to swing, like even a crystal on a chain, like when we're dowsing, things like that, and work up the energy centers with the crystal, looking for clarification of what needs working on at each chakra. And I thought that was absolutely fascinating. It opened my eyes slightly to another way of doing it. She even smudged the paper and used sage over the drawing of the person on the piece of paper. And then while the crystals were on the form, the figure on the piece of paper, she would have her hands over the top, and obviously send the healing to the person through that means. So I did actually try that a couple of times myself, and I found it very, very effective and very powerful. and also asked for some guidance from my guides, some assistance to help with any of the questions and things that might need answering, and some of the clarity that comes back from the questions is really, really good, especially through either dowsing or the clairaudience, or even the intuition as well. The intuition picks up a lot of it. So yeah, so I was quite fascinated by that. So there's a few ways of sending distance Reiki, obviously using the symbols as well. But I do know of some Reiki masters that don't even bother using the symbols, because they, like a lot of Reiki people, understand that it's more about the intention, the thought, of just sending the energy for that person's highest will and good. And it always works for their highest will and good, for what they need at that time. So obviously my way of sending distance energy will be different to other Reiki practitioners. But I do know of a lot that just use a piece of paper and write the name and location down. When we're going down the path of using crystals and things like that, that tends to come more from an intuitive side of me, and I will just pick the ones that I think, right, and pick up the crystals that I think I'll need for that time, for that person. And there again, the effects from that have been really, really good, really powerful, and been felt by the recipient. So there's a few forms of sending distance Reiki. You've got the piece of paper. You've got your piece of paper with your figure on and the form, so you could use that. You've got a teddy bear you could use. In my Reiki master, he has quite a large teddy bear. Obviously for the reasons that I've explained, that if you are at the heart chakra or at the root chakra, then you don't want to be over intrusive on the recipient that's receiving the Reiki. And then you've got things like the pillows. I actually know some Reiki masters that actually use themselves as a surrogate and work down the energy centers themselves and pick up any heat, cold spots, any they might pick up on twinges or any little niggly pains or anything like that, if they're sort of overly empathic. So yeah, that's distance Reiki, and how I do it, what it's about. I think I've covered everything that I started out wanting to cover, with a few little hidden extras thrown in. And before I go, I just wanted to show you my little friend. I haven't shown him off yet, but that's my little corner, and there's Buddha right in the middle. Either side of me is some of my artwork. I found him about a week ago and thought what a cracking addition he would be to my healing spiritual corner. So, a little birthday gift to myself a couple of weeks ago. Picked him up, and he's fit right in. It is getting a little bit cluttered up there now, a little bit busy, but I kind of like it. So I hope this covers things about distance Reiki. If you need to know anything else, or if anything pops up that I may not have covered, or anything that you want me to go into a little bit further, just give me a comment, let me know. If it's your first time watching here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the page. It's always nice to have some new followers. And I think that's it for today. Take care, everybody. It's nice to see you all again, and I'll probably have another video up and running very soon. Take care. Bye, guys.